Earth's atmosphere. Importance of the atmosphere. The air around you by science.glencoe.com. The air around you, Glencoe Science. ISBN 007 82 55 457. ISBN 007 82 55 457. Chapter 1, Section 1, Earth's atmosphere. Importance of the atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is a thin layer of air that forms a protective covering around the Earth. If Earth had no atmosphere, days would be extremely hot and nights would be extremely cold. Earth's atmosphere maintains a balance between the amount of heat absorbed from the sun and the amount of heat that escapes into the space. It also protects life form from some of the sun harmful rays. Earth's atmosphere is a mixture of gases, solids, and liquids that surrounds the planet. It extends from the Earth's surface to outer space. The atmosphere is much different today from what it was when Earth was young. Earth's early atmosphere, produced by erupting volcanoes, contained nitrogen and carbon dioxide, but little oxygen. Then, more than 2 billion years ago, Earth's early organisms released oxygen into the atmosphere as they made food with the aid of sunlight. These early organisms, however, were limited to layers of ocean water deep enough to be shielded from the sun. Harmful rays, yet close enough to the surface to receive some light. Eventually, a layer rich in ozone that protected Earth from the sun harmful ray formed in the upper atmosphere. This protective layer eventually allowed green plants to flourish all over Earth, releasing even more oxygen. Today, a variety of life forms, including you, depend on a certain amount of oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Gases in the atmosphere. Today's atmosphere is a mixture of the gases shown in figure 2. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas, making up 78% of the atmosphere. Oxygen actually makes up only 21% of Earth's atmosphere. As much as 4% of the atmosphere is water vapor. Other gases that makes up the Earth's atmosphere include argon and carbon dioxide. The composition of the atmosphere is changing in small but important way. For example, car exhausts emit gases into the air. These pollutants mix with oxygen and other chemicals in the presence of sunlight and form a brown haze called smog. Human burn fuel for energy. As fuel is burned, carbon dioxide is released as a byproduct into Earth's atmosphere. Increasing energy use may increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Solid and liquid in the Earth's atmosphere. In addition to gases, Earth's atmosphere contains small particles such as dust, salts, and pollens. Those particles get into the atmosphere when wind picks them up from the ground and carries them along. Salt is picked up from ocean spray. Plants gives us pollen that becomes mixed throughout part of the atmosphere. The atmosphere also contains some liquid droplets other than water droplets in this cloud. The atmosphere constantly moves these liquid droplets and solid from one region to another. For example, the atmosphere above you may contain liquid droplets and solid from an erupting volcano thousands of kilometers from your house. On June 1991, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted, causing liquid droplets to form in the Earth's atmosphere. Graph shows the percentage of gases, excluding water vapor, that makes up Earth's atmosphere. Solid and liquid can travel large distances in Earth's atmosphere. Droplets of sulfuric acid from volcano can produce some specific sunrise. layer of the atmosphere. If you left a glass of chocolate milk on the kitchen counter for a while, eventually you see a lower layer with more chocolate separating from upper layer with less chocolate. Like a glass of chocolate milk, Earth's atmosphere has layers. There are 5 layers in Earth's atmosphere. The upper layer includes troposphere and stratosphere. The troposphere and stratosphere contain most of the air. Lower layers of the atmosphere. The troposphere, you study, eat, sleep, and play in the troposphere. The stratosphere, which is the lowest on Earth, will play the most important role and most important role. It contains 99% of the water vapor and 75% of the atmospheric gases. Rain, snow, and cloud has never occurred for anything from him. The troposphere, which layer ends up to about 10 kilometers. The stratosphere, the layer directly above the troposphere, extends from 10 kilometers above Earth's surface to about 50 kilometers as shown. Each molecule of ozone is made up of 3 oxygen atoms called ozone. Each molecule of ozone is made up of 3 oxygen atoms bonded together. Later in this session, you will know how and why your ozone protects Earth from the harmful rays of the sun. Earth's atmosphere is divided into 5. Upper worm of the atmosphere. Beyond the stratosphere are the mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. To go about 85 kilometers from Earth, you would go But if you be seeing stars, you might have a weakness as a metaphor. The atmosphere is named for high maintenance. Beyond the stratosphere and the metrosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. The thermosphere is named for its high temperature. This is the thickest atmosphere. This is the thickest layer. The thermosphere is named for its high temperature. The mesosphere extends from the top of the stratosphere to about 85 kilometers above Earth. The atmosphere is named for its high temperatures. Now, this is the thickest layer, the thermosphere, named for its temperature. To be specific, for its hot temperature. Do you know if it is opened by anyone, it is going to take the abilities for support? Thermosphere is a layer of electrically charged particles. Called the ionosphere. You may pick up on a station they might, because the atmosphere is something that we all want to be alright. If the atmosphere is harm, we are not okay. At night, the atmosphere comes up. During the day, the atmosphere is also up. The thick thermosphere and exosphere. During the day, energy from the sun interacts with a particle in the ionosphere. Why they call the ionosphere? If you live in New Jersey, you listen to the radio at night, you might pick up on the station from Boris, Idaho, The ionosphere also radio waves to countries around the world. I need to call another city and this need to be shown. During the day, energy from the sun interacts with the particles in the atmosphere, causing them to cause causing them to absorb radio frequencies at night. Without solar energy from the sun, this would have acted from the sun. You can still give to me. Solar energy from the sun will act with a particular ionosphere, causing them to absorb radio frequencies at night. Without solar energy, AM transfers their wisdom. I'm saying this technological waste. The spacecraft relics on its bus now. Or during the day. The ionosphere absorbs radio transmitter from distant radio station at night. This is one of the reasons why they don't hear you. Also, the ionosphere absorb at night. The ionosphere reflects radio waves. The reflected waves can travel to distant city. The ionosphere in its own magnificent way beyond the stratosphere are the metrosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. During the day, energy from the sun interacts with particles in the ionosphere, causing them to absorb AM radio frequencies at night without solar energy. The AM radio frequencies transmitter reflects off the ionosphere, allowing radio transmitters to receive at great distance. The space shuttle in figure 6 orbits Earth in the exosphere. In contrast to the troposphere, the layer you live in, the exosphere, has so few molecules, and the wings of the shuffle are useless. In the exosphere, the spacecraft relies on bursts from small rockets, drugsters, to move around. Beyond the exosphere is outer space. During the day, the ionosphere absorbs radio transmission. This prevents you from hearing distant radio stations. At night, the ionosphere reflects radio waves. The reflected waves can travel to distant cities. Wings help move aircraft in lower layers of the atmosphere. The space shuttle can't use its wings to maneuver the exospace because of so few molecules are present. Atmospheric pressure. Imagine you are a football player running with a ball. 6 players tackled you and pile one on top the other. And pile one on top the other. Who's feel the weight more? You or the player on top? Like molecule anywhere. Like molecule anywhere. Atmospheric gases has mass. And atmospheric gases extends hundreds of kilometers above Earth's surface. As Earth's gravity pulls the gases towards its surface, people find it difficult to breathe in high mountains. Pressure is greater. Pressure is greater if I was going out. People find it more atmospheric. Jets. As Earth's gravity pulls the gases towards the surface, the weight of these gases presses down on the air below. As a result, the molecule near Earth are softer than others. This dense air exerts more force than the dense air near the top of the atmosphere. Force exerted on an area is known as pressure. People find it difficult to breathe in high mountains because fewer molecules of air exist there that fly in the stratosphere. Just maintain people can breathe. People can breathe as you go. Atmospheric gases. Atmospheric gases are fewer and fewer in number as you go higher. Because now stratosphere shows the ground from the right, left, and everywhere. By examining the graph, if you want to check map, you'll notice that the altitude and pressure are coming to us. And if you do your research, you'll notice that even currently as I speak to you, there is a meteorite that is headed directly for Earth, and it will get here in the year 2050. So our generation and the generation coming have to start thinking now of ways to either dismantle or dispower, discredit, or shoot it down. So same goes with atmosphere. The receipt of things but should be noted. Yes. Yes. Unsafe. Unsafe. Temperature in atmospheric layer. But before that, how does altitude affect atmosphere? Oh, this is your reading checklist. Atmospheric gases extends hundreds of kilometers above Earth's surface, but the molecule that make up these gases are fewer and fewer in altitude. Identifying these gases Atmospheric air latitudes. The troposphere and the stratosphere are rented on this graph. But by examining this graph, by kneeling down, but something not here is here. Who or what is that? Let me see. Temperature. Estimate the air. Temperature. Temperature in atmospheric layer. The sun is so hot that it is the source of light in and around the stratosphere. Earth's surface. Energy from the sun must pass through the atmosphere because some layers contain gases that heat from the Earth's surface. The sun warms Earth. The sun warms Earth. Sun energy. Because some layers contain gases that easily absorb the sun energy, while some layers do not. The various layers have different temperatures. If you go today, they have a different record. When you go tomorrow, the record will be broken. If you go the second day, what do you report? Because some layers contain gases that it easily absorb in the sun energy, while some layers do not. The variance of our layers may have different plugin. Molecule that make up air in the atmosphere has already been taken. Molecules of ozone layer are waiting patiently for me. Molecules that make up the air in the troposphere are warmed mostly by heat. Quality sponsors are coming out and we still need more. The hair at the top, we are just making it look more classy and standard. The sun warms Earth's surface, which then warms the air above it. When you climb a mountain, the air at the top of the mountain is about 0 degree. Every kilometer you climb, this addresses about 66.5 degrees centigrade. Molecule of ozone in the stratosphere absorb most of the upper layer and the observed layer. Molecule of ozone in the stratosphere absorb more of the energy. But raise less energy. The troposphere temperature in this layer rises with increasing altitude. Like the troposphere, the thermosphere and the mesosphere decreases with altitude. We say fly. Temperature high, or balance. Find the part of the infallible that is completely deflated. Algae are organisms that uses sunlight to make their own food. This process releases oxygen to Earth's atmosphere. Some scientists suggest that growth is reduced when algae is in bloom. After what might had happened at the atmosphere. I don't know. Some scientists within the stratosphere, about 19 kilometers in oil is kilograms. Your head lies an atmosphere flow of radiation. The oxygen you breathe, important. Life depends on it. You can bring either you can do two things. Can either build or make you. Life depends on that oxygen. Infer what might happen to the oxygen level of the cosmotic era. Within the stratosphere, about 9 kilometers of how I will meet such a person. And many type of energy that comes to Earth from the sun. Ultraviolet radiation is one of the many types of bugs that we are expecting. Countdown. 50, 30 seconds. Ultra radiation. Who is counting? Ultra radiation too much exposure and permanently dispose radiation. 30 seconds. Who is counting? Who is it? And permanently dispose radiation. Who is counting? They don't count. Ozone absorb most of the ozone absorb most of the ultraviolet radiation that enters the atmosphere. Count. The bundle you carry has ultraviolet radiation in one of them. The ozone radiation, the ozone layer contains high concentration of ozone and the shield and shields me from seeing apple on there. But even when I say shield, the oxygen you breathe, the molecule you share, and good Osariemen a good ultraviolet of ultra radiation is one of the many types of energy that come from Earth. That come from Earth. and you can be. Although the troposphere is about 19 kilometers to similarly refused it. Ozone absorbs the shade from the layer. Okay. Within the stratosphere, about 90 kilometers to 48 kilometers above your head lies an atmospheric layer called ozone layer. Ozone is made up of oxygen. Although you can't see the layer, your life depends on it. Ozone, if depleted today, is going to affect each and every one of us, no matter where we are. If it depleted today, the oxygen you breathe in, it has 2 carbon. Our ozone molecule is made up of 3 oxygen. 1, they won't bond together, the ozone layer. This gives the layer a high concentration of ozone. 2, the ozone molecule, and it is made up of 3 oxygen atoms and 1 molecule. The ozone layer contains a high concentration of ozone and shields you from the sun harmful energy. Once the ozone affects what is shielding you, ultraviolet radiation is one of the types of energy that comes to Earth from the sun. But then, too much exposure to ultraviolet radiation can damage your skin and cause too much cancer. CFCs. A chief evidence exists that some air pollutants are destroying the ozone layer. Blame has it that chlorofluorocarbons, chemical compound, yeah, yes. It's used in some refrigerator, air conditioners, and aerospace, and in production of some foam packaging. CFC can enter the atmosphere if these appliances seek or leak it that there are other products containing CFC, they are discarded immediately. Recall that an ozone layer is destroying the atmosphere more than it is keeping it up. As at this moment, the CFC rate has really gone up. And it is being kept to a minimum by the collective effort of people around the world. If the appliances recall that ozone molecule is made up of 3 CFC appliances. If the appliances is that important, it will be here. If it's not, we'll still move forward. One of the oxygen atom combined with the chlorine atom to give combined with the chlorine atom and the rest forms a regular 2-atom molecule. This atom molecule don't just absorb ultraviolet radiation the way ozone can. In addition, the original chlorine with chlorine atom are continues to break apart thousands of ozone molecules. The result is that more ultraviolet molecules are beginning to team up and understand what you are saying. Now, the result is more ultraviolet online than on Benin. So I'll be reading them for you in case you can't see them. Chlorofluorocarbon move molecules was refrigerated in dash. One atom of chlorine can destroy approximately 100,000 ozone molecules. Ozone holes. Each year, more than 1.3 million Americans develop from its exposure. If the ozone layer disappears, skin cancer rates might increase. In 1986, scientists found over Antarctica. Perhaps over time, the area where the glucose layer is thin will recover. If glucose, as at this point we are still going, if glucose can fight the ozone radiation, then in that atmosphere the rate of cancer will reduce. In the mid-1990s, some governments use CFC. Perhaps over time, the area where the ozone layer is thin will recover. Section 1 assessment. In the mid-1990s, many government officials banned the production and use of CFC over time. Now, October 1980, 1988, October 1990, September 1999. Earth's early atmosphere had oxygen. How did oxygen come to make up 21% of Earth's present atmosphere? Evaluating sunscreen. This activity you see here, we draw inference using the table. While trying to label it, what you investigate. how effective you are in checking on various types of sunscreen. How various brand of sunscreen operates. Variety of sunscreen of different brand names. Energy transfer in the atmosphere. The sun produces most of the energy on Earth. This energy drives winds and ocean currents for many years. The earth is yours, and the fullness thereof. When the earth receives energy from the sun, three things happens. One, some particles in the earth becomes relevant. Some energy in the atmospheric particles, you don't even need them. Absorbed by land and water. The heat. Heat is energy that flows through an object with a higher temperature. Heat energy that flows from an object with a higher temperature. Energy from sun reaches Earth's surface and hits objects from roads, rocks, and water. Heat is then transferred through the atmosphere in three ways: radiation, conduction, and convection. As shown. Radiation. Sitting on the beach, you feel the sun warmth on you. How can you feel the sun warmth on you? How can you feel the sun warmth on you? Radiation is energy transferred in its simplest form or wave. Earth made some radiation. Conduction, if you walk barefoot on a beach, your feet hit up on a boat beach. Your feet hit up and the body of water is encapsulated. How does the sun if you walk barefoot on a beach, you feel it all because of conduction. Conduction is the transfer of another molecule to this molecule. Molecule is warmer. It's now. It's now. When objects are in contrast, energy is transferred from warmer objects to a colder way. Regulating the temperature is usually not easy. Sometimes it's so taxing. Convection. After the atmosphere is warm, that is when convection starts. Convection is moving this molecule from now till Tuesday. When objects are in contact, energy is transferred from warmer objects to colder objects. Radiation from the sun always converts everything easily. Absorbing the power was the issue. I want to sleep. Absorbing the power was the issue. When air is warm, the molecule is in move. Can be moved in parts or in whole. The water cycle traps the earth. Traps the soul. And make sure everything is okay. The water cycle. Hydrosphere. If you are presenting tomorrow, send now to Olatade. If you watch the powder in the sun, you will notice that over time, you notice that over time, the powders get smaller and smaller. Energy from the sun causes water in the powder to change. I will sleep off like mad. Take water that evaporates from lake, stream, and ocean enters Earth's atmosphere. If water vapor in the atmosphere cools enough, it changes back into liquid. The sources of water atmosphere are as follows. And it is called condensation. Condensation cannot be forced. Can only be understood. As the drop of dew comes, so does the condensation theory balance. Soon, we're able to manage without waiting for the condensation. Visuals. Energy from the sun causes evaporation. Water that evaporates from lake, stream, and ocean water. If water evaporates in the atmosphere, cools enough, it can turn back into liquid. This process of water vapor changing is called condensation. Clouds forms when condensation forms in the atmosphere. Changing liquid is condensation. Cloud form when condensation occurs. High in the atmosphere, clouds are made up of tiny water that can collide to form larger drops, which complete the circle. As the drop grow, they fall to earth as precipitation, and the circle is complete by running water to the hydrosphere. Returning water to the hydrosphere. Precipitation, condensation, cover the outside of an empty soup with a black construction paper. Fill the can with cold water and fill it with your fingers. Place the can in sunlight for 1 hour. Then pour the water over your fingers. Does the water in the can feel warmer or cooler after this type of heat transfer? What type of heat transfer? I'm going to sleep. Please give me my phone. What type of heat transfer model did you model? The cycle from the earth and back to earth again. Evaporation. Earth's atmosphere creates a delicate balance between energy received and lost. Heat, 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 heat. Earth's atmosphere is unique. Radiation from the sun can be reflected into space, absorbed by land and water. Once it's absorbed, heat can be transferred. By radiation, conduction, or convection. Earth atmosphere shown in figure 14 help control how much of the sun radiation is lost. Earth atmosphere stays between energy received and energy left. What control help the sun is absorbed on Earth? Temperature for the sun living with the things born easily. A place in the surface life because the atmosphere just holds the right amount of sun energy. Sun energy to earth energy. Atmosphere is heat transferred from the stove to the water. When you boil water, describe the step. Does water circle? Think critically. What will happen? The thoughts, the atmosphere, forming word wind, uneven heating, wet surface. The atmosphere. Even heating in the surface. Uneven heating of Earth's surface by the sun cause the area to move. Recall from session becoming higher of pressure to an area of lower pressure. Heated air. Air of Earth received. Air, area of Earth receives different amount of radiation from the sun because it is curved. The equator receives more radiation than the area to the north. The heated air at the equator is less dense, so it is displaced by denser, colder air, creating convection currents. This cold, dense air comes from the pool, which receive less radiation from the sun, making air at the pool much colder. However, dense air sinking as less dense air rise does not explain about the wind. Global weather. What is weather? Humidity, dew point, classifying cloud, precipitation, tornadoes, thunderstorm, weather forecast, reading map, measuring wind, rainmakers, thinking critically, climate. As summer fades, trees take on the beautiful color of autumn. As the temperature drops and continues to drop throughout the season, those beautiful hilly thoughts will be those beautiful trees we want to live and be better. Throughout the continuous, what causes the damage in the sea? Why do some people have 4 distinct seasons? Why others only have 1 wet season and 1 dry season? This chapter, you will learn what climate is and how climates are classified. And animals adapt to different climates. You wouldn't go to Alaska to swim or to Jamaica to snow, because you know what is available to different countries based on their climate. What is climate? Climate is the pattern of weather that occurs in an area over many years. It determines the type of plant or animal that can survive, and it influences how people live. Climate is determined by leveraging weather over a long period of time, such as 30 years. Scientists average temperature or precipitation. Air pressure, humidity, but number of these include latitude, landforms, landslide, location of lake and ocean. Region close to the equator receive the most solar radiation. Latitude A of distant atmosphere. The topics: region, the topic receive the most solar radiation. Air radiation extended from 66.5 degree north and 66.5 degrees south. Solar radiation hits the sun at a different angle. Heat radiation spreading energy over large area during winter. Polar waves. Polar region are never warm. And neighbors. Temperature and moderate. Ash body. In general, in general, temperate and tropical natural features. Such body zone, ocean currents, mountain after climate. Within this zone, land cities also found. If you live in funny large water, other factors. Ocean current. Ocean current affects coastal climate. Warm currents begin near the equator and flow towards higher latitude. Warning: the land ridge on the pass. When the air cools and go back to the equator, the land is nearly full. Wind blowing from sea. Wind blowing from sea. The large amount of precipitation in Washington, Oregon, and Northern California can be explained in the Mars ocean air, mountain at the same latitude. The climate is colder. Mountain at sea level. When radiation from the sun is absorbed by Earth's surface, it hits the land. Heat from the earth then warm the atmosphere. In the mountain, the air has fewer molecules to absorb this heat. This is because Earth's atmosphere gets higher, thinner, latitude becomes bigger. Rain shadows, mountain also affect regional climates. On the windwards of a mountain range, air rises, cools, and drops its moisture. On the lee side of a mountain range, air descends, heats up, and dries the land. Deserts are common behind mountains. Cities. Large cities affect local climates. Streets, parking lots, buildings heat hubs. In turn, heating air. Air pollution traps. This heat, creating what is known as the heat island effect. Temperature in a city can be 5 degrees Celsius higher than in surrounding rural areas. Large mountain range can affect climate by forcing air to rise over the window sides and descend on the leeway sides. How can this cause the two sides of the Sierra Nevada mountain range to be so different? Climate types. Classifying climate. What is the climate like where you live? Would you call it generally warm, usually wet or cold, or different, depending on the time of the year? How would you classify the climate in your region? Life is full of familiar classification system, from musical category to food groups. Classification helps to organize your thoughts and to make your life more efficient. That's why Earth climates also are classified and are organized into the various types that exist. Climatologists. These are people who study climate. Usually, a system is used and developed because it was developed in 1918 by Vladimir Köppen to classify climate. Köppen observes that the type of plants found in a region descended on the climate of the area. Shows one region Köppen might have observed. He classified climates by using the temperature and precipitation of region that has different type of plants. The climate system shown in figure 5 explain the tropical, mild, dry, continental, polar, and high elevation. This group are further separated into types. For example, the dry climate classification is separated into semi-arid and arid. Adaptations. Climates vary around the world, and as Köppen observed, the type of climate that exists in an area determines the vegetation found there. Face trees ain't found in deserts, nor are they found in rainforests. In fact, all organisms are best suited for certain climates. Thank you. Organisms are adapted to their environment. An adaptation in any structure or behavior that help an organism survive in its environment. Adaptations are inherited. They develop in a population over a period of time. Once adapted to a particular climate, organisms may not be able to survive in other climates. Behavioral adaptations. Some organisms display behavioral adaptations that can help them survive in a particular climate. For example, factors factors that get cold or warm at certain lengths of time than animals. Face wipes. Other animals have adapted during cold weather. Bees cluster together in a tight ball to conserve heat. On hot sunny days, desert snakes hide under rock. At night, when it is cooler, they slithers out in search of food. Instead of drinking water, as turtles and lizards do in wet climates, dark turtle water and lizards obtain the moisture they need from their food. Some behavioral patterns are shown. Organisms have structured behavioral adaptation that help them survive in certain ways. A. These hibernating bats have adapted their behavior to survive in winter. B. Needless to say, caters have structural adaptation to a desert climate. How can this help catty conserve water? What is hibernation? Other animals during cold weather being clustered together in a tight ball to heat, conserve energy on a hot sunny day. Desert snakes hide under rocks. At night, when it's cooler, they move on to where they want to hide. Let them hide what they want to hide. Better now than never. Other animals have adapted differently during cold weather, being clustered together in a tight ball to conserve heat. On sunny days, they slither out to get food. Instead of eating, behavioral pattern of those food are drawn. Other animals have adapted differently during cold weathers. Estivations, long fish. Lungfish survive in period of intense heat by entering an inactive state called estivation. As the weather gets hot and water evaporates, the fish burrows into the mud and covers itself in a leathery mixture of mud and mucus. It lives this way until the mud, warm, dry, pass. Other organisms you may want to avoid. Organisms you want to avoid. Organisms you want to avoid include water. Take some heat with it. As a result, you become cold. You become cold when you shiver. Next is adaptation, like other organisms. It lives this way until dry months. Like other organisms, you have adaptations and help you adjust to climate. In hot weather, your sweat gland releases water on your skin. The water evaporates, taking some heat with it. As a result, your body stays cool. The rapid muscles to do this have recently been distributed to your school. Long fish survive period of intense heat and drought, going into hibernation state. Like every other organisms, you have adaptations that help you adjust to climate. Your sweat glands releases water. As a result, you become cooler. You may shiver. The rapid muscle movement produces some heat. What other adaptation do climate have? Climate change. Do you know Do you know that if you can regulate climate, our world as we know it will become balanced again? The atmosphere is injured. Together, we have to fix it. Earth seasons. In temperate region, you can play softball under the summer sun. And in the winter, you can go sledding in France. Weather changes with season. Seasons are a short period of climate change. I even call you to seasonal change. Because of fairly speaking, the way we are talking to her was getting to her. Spring and fall are usually mine. What else? High latitude. During the high latitude, during summer, it was observed at high latitude during the same time was during the same time was El Nino and La Nina. During the time, the sun never rises. The sun per El Nino and La Vina never lavish. High latitude. High latitude is a climatic event during the year. The high latitude near the poles have given great difference in temperature and number of days, light hours, hemisphere